My name is Ralph Featherstone, class of 1999, Lieutenant Colonel, United States Marine Corps, retired. Like you, I grew up here in Washington, D.C. I'm a product of D.C. Public Schools, so I went to Jefferson Junior High and Benjamin Banneker Senior High School and got my commission through Eleanor Holmes Norton, and I am currently on her board to give nominations to aspiring students like yourselves. So take a deep breath. I know some of you are uncertain, a little bit nervous. Relax, enjoy the process, enjoy the ride. Some are here because mom and dad dragged you down here, and mom and dad, some of you guys are here because your aspiring midshipmen drug you here, and I was the latter. I think my mom held her breath for 24 years and finally let out a sigh of relief at my retirement ceremony. So I get it. I understand. As Ensign Weiss mentioned, we have processes that go on simultaneously with the school. Our job to recommend to the Congresswoman is on nominations, not just to the Naval Academy, but to all the schools. But with that, our deadline is a little bit earlier than the school. So Congresswoman Norton's deadline is 1 November for her applications. And you can go to the website and you'll get an application there. Application is a few pages, it's about 20 pages, but in that 20 pages is about 8 or 9 personal questions. You just answer in essay format. There is a personal essay, all the things that you need for the school, your GPA, your SAT, ACT scores, and letters of recommendation. For a nomination application, you'll need 1 letter of recommendation from either a math or science teacher. That's your first one. Your second letter of recommendation comes from either a PE or English teacher, and then your third letter of recommendation can come from anyone, community member, coach, or anything of that sort. In our application process, one of the things that lends to success is an applicant that communicates interest in service. So what does that mean? Hey, have you applied to ROTC scholarships, or are you just focused on one school? Have you gone to the schools? Have you visited? Like Ensign Weiss put up the timeline to plead for a summer seminar and things like that. Each service academy has that, but a similar version. Have you attended those? Have you applied? Have you been in contact with a blue and gold officer? These types of things communicate interest. And it's important also for you, maybe that you're following in mom or dad or grandma or granddad's footsteps, but we like to see that it may go a little bit past that, and you have your personal interest as well. So our deadline, I said, is November 1st for the application itself to be turned in. And after that, what happens is we review those applications for about a month. And they get divvied out to our team, and then we do interviews early December, either the first or second week of December. It usually floats not to interfere with the Army-Navy game. Gotta have priority. So we got to keep that Saturday clear. But no, it's a Saturday, either the first or second Saturday of December, and you'll be interviewed by a panel of 3 to 4 people. And they'll come from different backgrounds, meaning Navy, Air Force, Marine Corps, Army, or Merchant Marine. Coast Guard no longer needs a nomination, so we service the Naval Academy, Air Force Academy, West Point, and Merchant Marine Academies. So after that interview in December, you can expect a decision to be made usually that day. After we get done with all the interviews, we go in our war room and we wrestle and fight for who we think deserves the nominations. And then in January, late January, sometimes it bleeds into the first week of February, the Congresswoman will release those nominations, and you'll get notification in the mail that you received a nom or that you did not. Her limitations. So she has 10 noms that can be filled at one school at any time. So she can recommend 10 noms a year. However, she can only have 5 seats at a school, I should say. So there are years where we're full at, let's say, Air Force, and that happened to us last year. And so I would recommend, if you want to serve, you may have to be a little flexible. And your heart may be set on one school or another, but there may be an opportunity at another school based upon the field that you're competing against and where the people the year before. We try not to ever have that happen. It was a weird, just one-off where we were stuck in that position. So one of the downsides of being in DC is you don't have senatorial representation. So as Ensign Weiss recommended, if you're eligible for vice presidential or presidential nominations, use that as well. If you're an athlete, there are some avenues for you that may be open for you as well. If not, get your application in early, spend some time on it though, but be judicious and get it in early. And I think that is all I have for you. And I'll be available at the end for questions, and don't be shy. Like I said, product of DC, DCPS, I sat in your shoes a few years ago, but I remember it like it was yesterday, so thank you.